Okay, I'm joined here by Mary K Burke on the occasion of the launch of her album Sweet Is the Melody. I suppose the very first question and the good starting point is, tell us about Mary K Burke. Who's Mary K Burke?
Hi, Seamus. Well, Mary K Burke is Mary Kathleen Burke, and I'm actually known to my close family members as Marie Burke, but Mary was on my birth certificate, so I officially am Mary Kathleen, and so we shortened it down and it's just Mary K now. And I was born in Park, County Derry, and we always had an interest in music from when I was about 12 years of age. I was playing guitar and stuff and singing and whatever, and then I left home in Park at 16 and went to Glasgow for a holiday, and that was 34 years ago and I'm still there.
Went to Glasgow on your holidays and never came home.
Long holiday, very long holiday.
Well, my mama was always telling her truth. Times were hard and that's how she made it through. When it came to her feelings, there wasn't no back burner on that stove. And when something went wrong, she might start yelling or crying. If you didn't know better, you'd think one of us was dying. But that was Mama, and she just told her truth. I was sitting in the church house right there beside her. Mama would move and the Spirit would guide her, waving her hands up to heaven, singing her truth. But if the preacher said something and she didn't like it, her head would go to shaking, she just wouldn't hide it. And that was Mama, she just told her truth. When I was a kid coming in from school, I said, Mom, I'm so worried something could happen to you. And if you die, oh Mama, what am I gonna do? She said, Mary, just because I'm older than you, don't be sure you won't go before I do. And that was Mama, she just told her truth. It was my mama who taught me I could tell my truth. And sometimes it's all that I could do. Looking in from the outside, it may not seem like much, but I'll tell you now, if that's what you're thinking, the truth can be the difference between swimming and sinking. I think my mama just told me her truth. If she was glad, she took it with her. If she was sad, she took it too. There wasn't a lot of traveling she didn't do. Right there in that little house was a bigger world than I may ever see. Some people liked it and some people didn't. For some of what she said, she may never be forgiven. But that was Mama, she just told her truth. A life with my mama could sometimes be a rough road. She could say something and blood would burn in my soul. But I wouldn't trade 1 mile of this journey me and her have been on. 'Cause I've loved my mama like I never loved another. As long as I live, there'll be no one above her. I know my mama, 'cause she told me her truth. Life, as I know, can be a little confusing. I don't know the difference between winning and losing. Every time I find a line that I can walk on, it slips from view. But when it all goes dark and I start losing vision, I just think about her and I know what gotta go back to telling my truth. It was my mama who taught me I could tell my truth. Sometimes it's all that I could do. Looking in from the outside, it may not seem like much, but I'll tell you now, if that's what you're thinking, the truth can be the difference between swimming and sinking. I think my mama just told me her truth. I think my mama just told me her truth. And
I think it's been good for me to have spent a kind of nearly a lifetime in a different country, because it gives you a different perspective on Ireland and makes you realise, you know, how much you do like your own place where you were born and stuff. And I think when you're away you appreciate it more. But it also has given me a look at the culture in Scotland and Scottish music and people, so it's been a good thing for me, really.
Okay, Mary K Burke, Singer Songwriter, which is more important to you, singer or songwriter?
I think singer is more important. I mean, I never really classed myself as a songwriter, but I suppose I am, because I've written a few songs, not mountains of songs, but and I think I spend quite a long time on my songwriting. But I would definitely put myself out there more as a singer and an interpreter of other songs as well, like kind of doing cover songs and putting my own feel on the songs. Okay,
your debut album, A Song in Our Heart.
That album was released by Green Tracks in 2008, and it's a 14-track album of contemporary folk and traditional folk songs. And when it came out, it got absolutely fantastic reviews and was played all over the world, really. So it was quite an exciting time for me. I haven't really recorded anything again until now, so it's been 7 years since my debut album. And just life, I suppose, things in life gets in the way sometimes, and I think the music scene has changed so much as well, so it's, I suppose, a gamble for me, or a chance that maybe this album might go even further than the first album, the new one that's coming up.
Oh, I wonder what is keeping my true love this night. I wonder what is keeping him out of my sight. I wonder if he knows of the pain I endure and stays away from me. This night I'm not sure. Oh lover, you coming close to advance, or yet are you waiting for a far, far better chance? Are you coming for to tell me you've a new love instead? my heart. For I can't love a man with too many sweethearts. You're my first and only false love, though it's lately I knew. The stronger I loved you, the falser you grew. The spring grass grows the greenest, spring water runs clear. I'm sorry I tormented for the love of my dear. You're loving me so lightly, like the dew on the thorn. But is there in the evening away with the dawn? Oh, I wonder what is keeping my true love this night. I wonder what is keeping him out of my sight. I wonder if he knows of the pain I endure and stays away from me this night. I'm not sure. Oh, I wonder what is keeping my true love this night.
Okay, the debut album was definitely sort of contemporary folk type stuff. I've heard the new album, and it definitely shows the countryside of Mary K Burke. Anyway,
Yeah, well, I see myself as somebody who likes and knows both folk music and country music, and I do feel that they're very closely related. And you know, I spent quite a few years on the country music scene in the UK and sang under the name Tanya, and did all country songs and threw the odd folk song in there as well. But I suppose at that time there was a kind of longing to go back into the folk scene and sing some folk music and whatever, and I'd been going to places like Celtic Connections and going to sessions and things like that, so that's what drew me in really to doing a folk album. And I just felt I can do both, so why not? And now I've reversed that situation, and this is predominantly a country album that's coming up, although that I would say there is a kind of not folk element to it, but a Celtic feel to it as well.
I can see that there is a folk element, because one of the first tracks that grabbed my attention was the Jimmy McCarthy classic Bright Blue Rose, which is a song I would never see as a country song, but having listened to your version of it on the album Sweet Is the Melody, it's definitely a countrified version of it anyway. It
definitely is. I don't know if I intended to turn it into a country song. I think what I wanted to do was, you know, I've heard it as a ballad, and it is a beautiful ballad, but I think probably some people might have missed out on it because it is a ballad, and people that listen to country music are more into, I suppose, something more up-tempo and whatever. So, and I think there's a lovely melody and all to the song, and it just worked, you know, it worked to turn it into a country song. So, you know, and people when they hear it will recognise it, but they'll not really know from where, you know. And I do think I've done it with some style and some taste, you know. And I think it works with the instruments and all that I've put behind it as well. So it's just a song that I interpret differently.
I skimmed across black water without once submerging on to the banks of an urban morning. and she'll like a ghost beside me. Goes down with the ease of a dolphin and emerges unlearned on a chain unharmed. She is a perfect creature, a natural in every feature, and I am the geek with the alchemist stone. For all of you who must discover, for all who seek to understand, for having left the path of order, you'll find a very special hand. It is a holy thing, and it is a precious time, and it is the only way. Forget-me-nots among the snow, it's always been and so it goes, to ponder his death and his life eternally. For all of you who must discover, for all who seek to understand, for having left the path of order, you'll find a very special hand. And it is a holy thing, and it is a precious time, and it is the only way. Forget-me-nots among the snow, it's always been and so it goes, to ponder his death and his life eternally. For all of you who must discover, for all who seek to understand, for having left the path of others, you'll find a very special man. One bright blue rose that lives all those 2,000 years, and so it goes, to ponder his death and his life eternally. To ponder his death and his life eternally.
Yeah, and lest anybody think that this album is pure country, like there are also songs in it like Mulroy Bay, which is anything but country in my book, and also the song that you've written yourself about living in Glasgow for the last 34 years and just missing home. Ireland, I miss you.
Yeah, that would definitely be a song that come straight from my heart. I was sitting at home one night in Glasgow, and I hadn't seen my children for a few weeks at that point, and I just kind of sat there and I thought, what am I doing living in this wee flat here in Glasgow? And it did make me think about everything and about all the years that I've been away from home and the time that I've missed with my family, that I can never really get that time back. It's gone. But that song was written and composed in one night, and at the start I kind of discounted the song, and then I realised it was, it seems to appeal to people, especially expats, who've moved, people in America and Australia and everywhere that maybe feel the same sentiments, I suppose, or the same level of homesickness. And homesickness is a terrible thing, and I had my life to live over in Scotland, so I couldn't just pack up and go back, because it wouldn't have just been about me then, it would have been about my family and whatever. But now that they're kind of grown up, that's changed.
As I sit here tonight, thinking of you, and the years that I have been away, I see familiar faces, I hear voices from the past, and I know I can't get back a single day. Ireland, I miss you, even after all this time. There's not a day goes by when you're not on my mind. Ireland, I miss you, even after all this time. I can hear you call me home across the sea. Along this holy road I walk to school each day, but long ago they pulled that old tree down. Those secret childhood places where I played have disappeared. I am a stranger at the gates of my hometown. Ireland, I miss you, even after all this time. There's not a day goes by when you're not on my mind. Ireland, I miss you, even after all this time. I can hear you call me home across the sea. This is my children's home, for they have grown now, with busy lives that I don't understand. My mother's getting older, for years now on her own, and I miss the gentle touch a family had. Ireland, I miss you, even after all this time. There's not a day goes by when you're not on my mind. And even though I love this land that I now call my home, I still hear you call my name across the sea. I still hear you call me back across the sea.
Well, okay, now that they are grown up and we see you singing songs like Ireland, I Miss You, is that a hint that we're going to see more of you over here?
I don't know. Maybe it is a call out to Ireland. You know, I really do miss you, and I have missed you, and you know, I've had a great time in Scotland for 34 years, but I now feel a bit misplaced. You know, and my job here is done really, and it's not that far away, so you know, I would be able to fly over and back to see my family and stuff like that. It's something I've been doing all my life anyway. You know, I've been going back to Ireland maybe 2 or 3 times a year for the last 34 years. So the difference would be now, instead of going from Scotland to Ireland, I'd go back to visit Glasgow. You know.
Okay, when we see a song like that, like Ireland I Miss You, a song that you've written yourself, as one of the keystones of the album, are we going to see more of what you're writing yourself?
Yeah, I think you're going to hear a lot more. I have actually another album. It's kind of sitting in a studio at the moment, and that album is all my own lyrics and my own music. That album was written during that 7 years that I wasn't out doing much performing or anything, and you know, I went through a major back operation, so that kind of put paid to any, you know, going out to do gigs or anything for quite some time, and then that caused depression, and in this album that I have written, it's called A Heart Inside the Rain. So again, it's songs that I've written about the situations that I found myself in, and again I take it back to childhood as well, and to the place where I grew up, beside a castle in a forest. So you know, I've written one about that, and I suppose it's in a way my story, if you like, of...
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, is there a sort of a specific theme to it, or is it just various songs that you've written about various things that have happened to you in life?
Well, I think the title track gives it away, and that's called A Heart Inside the Rain, so that kind of gives you the idea of what it's about. It's about my battles with depression and my recovery from depression, and from, you know, physical illnesses and things as well, broken relationships, and I suppose my perspective on the world as it is. I write songs, kind of depicts what I feel about that, and the, you know, the terrible depression that we're in at the moment, and you know, people are struggling. And it speaks about politicians, and it speaks about the wars, and you know what it's doing to kids.
Sitting on a train, looking out a dirty window pane. I write songs, I write songs. Wondered who you are, where you're from, have you been hurt or hurt someone? I write songs, I write songs, I write songs about life. People living happy ever after. I write songs, This life is just one big song. What is good and what is bad? What is right, what is wrong? You can hear it in my song. Luxuries and other ones need. I write songs. I write songs. Social injustice and poverty, the wrongs of the powers that be. I write songs. I write songs. I write songs about life. There is some uplifting stuff in it as well, and one of the songs in particular, called Pick Yourself Up, I wrote that song really to myself because that's what I've had to do many times, and I'm sure plenty of people out there would identify with that. So this third album would definitely be more of a personal album and a story really about, you know, how I dealt with different things in life. There is a couple of kind of love songs on there as well and things, but I think it has definitely got that theme, and that's, I suppose at the time of writing I didn't realise that myself. These songs came to me and I wrote them, and you know, suddenly I had a full album of songs there, so they all fit quite well.
Okay, a question that I know lots of singers, lots of artists hate. If I was to ask you for one track that you specifically like, your favourite track off each of the three albums, one off your debut album, one off Sweet Is the Melody, and one off whatever album of your own stuff is coming in the future, which three songs would you pick and why?
Well, I think of my debut album, one of my favourite tracks on that is My True Love, and I think that I just love the melody in that song. I think it's a beautiful air, and again it's quite a sad song, and the whole story of it, you know, about somebody being unfaithful, you know. I'm not going to say that that's my own situation, but it might be something to do with that at the time. So definitely My True Love would be my favourite one of the first album. Now this one coming up, that is a hard question because there's so many on this album that I really do like. If you're asking my absolute favourite, it probably is the title track, Sweet As a Melody, because I think the second album is very melodic, you know, and there's just some absolutely gorgeous solos in it and stuff like that, and the instruments that's been used as well. So I think, you know, all the songs reflect that, you know, and it's, you know, it's just a lovely album overall.
Sweet is the melody, so hard to come by, so hard to make every note bend just right. You lay down the hours, leave not one trace place, and a tune for the dancing is there in its place. Well, the dance floor's for gliding, not rushing over ponies, where boots and gold bracelets come meet as they should. It's for celebrating a Friday night romance, forgetting the bad stuff and just feeling good. Sweet is a melody, so hard to come by, so hard to make. Every note bend just right. You lay down the hours, leave not one trace, and a tune for the dancing is there in its place. Just an arm till it's wrapped round a shoulder. Lips side by side, we go stepping out together. A note's just a note till you wake from your slumber and try to discover a new melody. Oh, sweet is a melody, so hard to come by, so hard to make. Every note bend just right. You lay down the hours, leave not one trace, and a tune for the dancing is there in its place. Sweet is a melody, so hard to come by, so hard to make. Every note bend just right. You lay down the hours, leave not one trace, and a tune for the dancing is there in its place. And a tune for the dancing is there in its place.
And your favourite of the South Pend album?
Oh gosh, that's a hard one as well. Probably as a good song, I think the one that I would pick off the third album is Pick Yourself Up. And the reason for that is one song that I wrote to myself as a reminder to myself if I ever feel down again or whatever, you know, if you listen to that song, it gives you a wee bit of hope, and it makes you kind of give yourself a wee shake and say, well, I've been here before and I got through it, so I'm at the other side now. And that song as well, I feel could be very inspirational to anybody that does feel that they're losing hope and they think that life has lost its colour, really. And that's why I like that. I also love the melody in that as well, and I have a girl from the Shetlands playing fiddle on it, and a guy from the Borders playing accordion. So I think the actual musical arrangement as well of the song kind of grips you, you know. So I think you'd have to be stoned to not feel some kind of emotion when you listen to that one.
Things in life seem painful, and you try to make sense of it all. Just remember, life's a puzzle. We all have hopes and dreams, and sometimes things aren't so bad as they seem. Just pick yourself up from the floor Come to terms with your pain. Give yourself a break. It's just another mistake. It's part of life's learning game. You just pick yourself up again. Speaking silent words alone, a seed of hope you'll find as you try to make some sense of the troubles in your mind. Just remember you're not alone. We're all in this world together, and when life feels good again, you'll be stronger, you'll be better. You just pick yourself up from the floor again. Shake yourself off. Come to terms with your pain. Give yourself a break. It's just another mistake. It's part of life's learning game. You just pick yourself up again. When your heart's upon your sleeve, you're vulnerable to attack. It's not the road you took that matters, it's the road that you take back. Picking up the pieces can be a daunting task. If you need some help to get there, don't be proud, just ask. And pick yourself up from the floor again. Shake yourself off. Come to terms with your pain. Give yourself a break. It's just another mistake. It's part of life's learning game. You just pick yourself up again. You just pick yourself up again.
I suppose I am quite an emotional person, and it's taken me many years to become a more positive thinker. And I think we all, when you're brought up as a child, I think everything that you learn then follows you for the rest of your life. But you can change things in your thinking, and I think that's how I've got to where I am now with my music. I could have given up a long time ago and said, let's just do something else, but I can't because it's just part of who I am, you know.
And that automatically brings me into my last question. What are the hopes for the future?
Well, the hopes for the future is that people will like this second album, and that may lead them to the first album as well, and that they will want to come and hear me singing in concert. I'd like to do concert gigs. I like to kind of have that rapport with an audience who have come and sat down to listen to the songs. So hopefully I will be moving back over to Ireland as well, but it very much depends on how the music. Well, I suppose I could come here and get a job of any kind if I want to come back, but I certainly would love to be back singing on Irish soil. So that's what I would like.
Well, okay, Mary K Burke, the very best of luck to you in
Thank
the future, and thanks very much for talking to us.
No problem. Thank you.
I'm all alone, so come on over, baby, right now, right now. I'm all alone, so come on over, baby, right now, right now. But don't make him wait, child, don't you hesitate, come on along, come on along. I wanna dance, I need romance, baby, right now, come on over, right now. I wanna dance, I need romance, baby, right now, come on over, right now, right now. Oh, don't you let me down, child, don't you mess around, come on along, come on over, come on along, right now. Let's think of something to do and let's do it. Let's think of somewhere to go and let's go. And when you put your loving arms around me, oh, you know I love you so. I need a thrill, say you will, baby, right now, come on over, right now. I need a thrill, say you will, baby, right now, come on over, right now, right now. Oh, don't let me down, child, don't you mess around, come on along, come on over, come on along, right now. Let's think of something to do and let's do it. Let's think of somewhere to go and let's go. And when you put your loving arms around me, oh, you know I love you so.